happy Olympic Friday. Did anyone catch the women's hockey gold medal? So I was working hard in my office, and I caught some of the overtime. Wow, how amazing was that? So good for them. Now we have through for the men, but that Canadian team was really strong. So, all right, so I'm going to get started by giving out a few stars. And I'm going to start with Lizzie. Where's Lizzie? Come on out. It's such a long walk in this venue than the event center, so she's got to walk out. So I'll start talking while she's on her way up. So Lizzie's getting 2 stars, one because we forgot to give her one 2 years ago. Yeah, that's right, Mike just said we owe her interest. And I don't even remember what it was for, but when you have a standout person, a standout employee like Lizzie, you can just start talking and say, well, she must have done this and this, but I'm going to focus on this year's star, which was in January, and so you may or may not know, Lizzie is part-time in our marketing department, part-time working in admissions in our health center, and I feel bad for the folks in the health center because Mary Lou keeps stealing her over here, so it's been a little busy lately, and as we're building the new apartments and patio homes, there's these selection meetings where folks are coming in and choosing the finishes and stuff, because when you're building it, you have a say in some of the selections, and you kind of need that person to step in when everyone else is busy and insert themselves in and just start doing. And Lizzie has learned our software, which is called Blue Fingerprint, and it's really taken kind of a leadership role in understanding it and meeting with residents and making that process work a little more smoothly, because the rest of the team is working hard, they're stressed, so it's hard to function without somebody like Lizzie, and you don't realize what you have until you have those stressful moments, how good she is. So Lizzie, thank you so much. Oh, one other story, this is kind of funny. We had our Christmas, I take the leadership team out for Christmas every year. We go to lunch, and then we do something fun, and then for dinner. And while we're off-site, and we may have been at an establishment, and there may have been a drink in my hand, we got a call from our developer that said, you have to sign a document within the next hour to get the next check. Oh, I should have started, if you wouldn't mind turning your phones off for the presentation. Allison told me to say it, and I forgot. I should have started there. But anyway, so here we are, it's December. We're at a Christmas luncheon, and our developer called and said, Bill, you have to sign this document in order for the contractors to be paid. And I said, well, there's no way I can get back in time. So Mary Lou said, I've got an idea. Call Lizzie. Lizzie drove to Buffalo. I don't know how she found parking. It was during one of our icy snow days, and was able to bring these documents, and actually brought 2 different color pens because she wasn't sure what I preferred to sign the document with. So it may not seem that may not seem like a lot to you, but in that moment it was what we needed, and she jumped in and volunteered. So you just can't teach that. It's just who Lizzie is. So Lizzie, here. You want to take 2 stars for yourself. You know, this kind of effort, thank you, yes. With this kind of effort, she almost deserves a promotion. So now I'm here to introduce our brand new full-time employee in marketing, and to proudly announce Lizzie's promotion that comes with all of these stars. And Lizzie is now the sales and marketing liaison. So again, you see this kind of talents, and you know what's best for this community and how we can best use somebody. So Lizzie is now going to move away from admissions and is going to be full-time in the sales and marketing department. Look at Mary Lou's dancing back there. Don't look at her. Don't give her any attention. She doesn't need it. And so it's just going to propel us forward and really help with this process as we fill these new apartments and patio homes, and I see a much bigger role down the road for Lizzie too. So Lizzie, thank you so much. Congratulations on your promotion. Do you want to say anything? You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
That was fun. Okay, now another star. This person has no idea that they're getting one, but Liesel is going to get a star today. So we were talking in our ops meeting yesterday, and I've said it a few times, it feels like she's been here 2 years already. So how somebody who could be hired in mid-December, right, has acclimated herself so quickly to who we are and what we do, and this process especially. And we had a plan of what we wanted. We wanted somebody who could communicate what's going on with the project to all of you. And Liesl has kind of made the position her own and grown it to something that we didn't expect. So just to give you, probably the biggest example was the other day, Matt and I were going over some of the communication gaps that we've had with the builder or the developer. This is what happens when people are from out of town. And Liesl came over and said, I have an idea. I want to be the point person now for that communication between all parties, not just Fox Run administration and community members, but I want to be your point person for One Point Development. I want to be your communication, your connection, your point person for Lehigh Construction and for the architect. And it was something that we didn't realize we needed, but we sorely need. And Liesl is now, I actually sent an email out to our designer and developer and said, from now on, you're only talking to Liesl, and then she's going to distribute that information to the rest of us. And this was something that she just stepped in and said, I see a need, I'm willing to fill that need, and she's been just fantastic. So, and it's not just the presentations that you've seen, there's so much more behind the scenes that have helped us greatly, so here's your star.
Thank you.
Just take one off and put it in your bag.
Thank you.
So did you want to say anything?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll just say really quick, thank you so much to all of you for being so thoughtful and interested in asking questions, and thank you to all the staff too for just being so helpful and helping me get acclimated, and I just am really grateful to be here with this awesome team.
Okay. You can hang on to that.
Okay, perfect.
Because now I'm transitioning, now Liesl it's her turn to talk.
Hello, everyone. So I have just a handful of updates for you. These are really more so reminders for what we have going on for construction right now. You've all seen the temporary wall that went up around the gallery. So that's going to be there through June. But that bathroom around the corner there is open. You can still use that. It's accessible from the side of the fitness center. And if you want a little sneak peek inside of that space, you can sign up for a tour, and we do get to open that door, take a look inside, so that's exciting. The pass-through by the fitness center as well is still expected to close around April, but we are going to give you a month's notice on that with a memo, so you'll see that come out in March. There's a chance that will be delayed still, so you know all these dates, as you've heard me say 1 million times now, may change. Open hours have not been super well attended, so I am going to be moving away from those in March. That said, I am still going to be hosting more pop-ups with coffee and pastries. I know those have been a lot of fun for folks, and we can take a really close look at the plans together and answer some questions, so we'll see more of those coming up. I am going to be continuing the guided tours. There are more dates and times for signups in the book in front of the reception desk, so please take a look at those. Mary Wellington and I are also going to be starting a support group called Coping with Change. That's going to be meeting on the first and third Thursday of every month, and that's going to be at 1 p.m. So the first one is Thursday, March 5th. In the Creative Arts Room, you're going to get a memo with everything that I'm saying right now, so don't feel the need to take notes. I will also be, that group is not just for people that are struggling with change. It's also for folks that feel you're doing pretty well with everything, so that we can all sort of learn from each other and experience it all together. So it's going to be a really nice opportunity to chat about it. It's not just, for construction. I think that that'll be a big part of what we're talking about. But any life changes, anything you'd like to talk about, feel free to come on over. I will also be sending out a questionnaire. You'll see that in your mailboxes soon. It's going to have a request for your emails. Once again, anybody else that would like to join the email list. It'll also include whether you are interested in Quilt 101, a class to learn how to use quilts a little bit more, how to deal with some of those glitches that we see from time to time in the app. I know that's going to be a little bit frustrating, so we'll give you some tips on how to deal with those as well. So we'll find out some dates and times that work for everybody for that. And then also just checking again to see if anybody individually has more questions or concerns. I just want to be here and be present to, I'm still available even though I won't have those designated hours in the bistro. That does open me up to be able to meet with you in the bistro, in the conference room, in your apartment, wherever you are comfortable, wherever you're most comfortable. So I'm happy to do that. The memo will have my email and my phone number on it again. My cards are at the front desk though as well. So that is all from me. Yes?
What is the event center?
Yeah, so the event center is set to open in April or May. We're taking a look at that, and yeah, you'll kind of hear a little bit more about it on the tours, but Sue, I'm happy to chat with you on it afterwards as well. Did I see another hand go up? Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lisa. Just a couple announcements that I had. I know we've had some requests for a complimentary happy hour, which I think is a great idea. So that will be in your March calendar, and that is going to be Wednesday, March 4th. So that will be open, to all community members on Fox Run. So please come down for a happy hour on that date. You will also see in your March calendars, I know we've been trying to really utilize the tables right outside here near the pool table, and instead of calling that area, area outside the bistro, area outside Jackie's office, we've named it the plaza. So you're going to see quite a few events there this coming March. So it's been a great use of space. We've seen a lot of more social interaction, people stopping through, creating conversation. So we just hope to continue that, and you join us for events at the plaza. Any community member announcements this morning? Okay. Well, then I would like to introduce our speaker today, a very familiar face to Fox Run. This is Mike Gardner. He is the president and owner of Western York Consulting, and he's going to talk about cybersecurity. I'll also be passing out a handout.
Thanks, Allison. Thank you, everyone. I think this is our third year doing this, and in the past, the Fox Run is obligated to do cybersecurity training for its employees, and we've kind of extended that over to residents. So this year I tried to change this a little bit to gear more toward things that you will see in your everyday life. So we're going to cover the most common scams targeting retirees. And if you have questions, please ask on that slide, because I'm sure if you have questions, other people do as well. I also have a cyber safety quick guide that you can hang on your fridge or put somewhere. So if you think you're in trouble, that you might be getting scammed, closer, how's that? If you think you're getting scammed, you can reference this. It's a very handy guide. So let's dig in. So why scammers target retirees? Well, generally you have pretty good credit. You've done pretty well in your life. Savings, retirement income, things like that. These are things that scammers are trying to get their hands on. You're also very trustworthy and polite people, and scammers will try to exploit that. And even though you may not live online 24/7, like these Gen Zers, fake messages can seem more believable because you're not into it all the time. So this is the big one, the number one rule: stop, think, verify. If something doesn't seem right, it's probably not. So before you click, before you call, before you pay, stop and think, does this seem real or is it legit? Does it make sense? And if you're not sure, just stop, abort, hang up, say no, do whatever it takes to stop this scam from proceeding. The most common scams right now, so think, yes, question?
I know you're talking about the computer, but it also kind of relates to phone calls that you get?
Yes, phone, mobile, any device. Anything that's been invented, scammers are going to take that and turn it into a way to steal from you, to get you to pay them, things like that. So it's not just the computer.
Okay, and is it just, I've heard that if you say yes, they report that yes, and they can use it elsewhere.
They can do that. We don't see that as much nowadays because a lot of the verification isn't with voice. There's, you need a lot more than just a voice, but the more you talk to them, the more you're in danger, and you're going to see why in just a little bit. It's a good question. So these are some of the most common scams right now. Fake bank or credit card alerts, and you might receive these in an email or a text message. Medicare, Social Security, Amazon is huge because a lot of people are ordering from Amazon constantly, and so we get these fake Amazon text messages or emails saying there's a problem with our order, and click here or you're not going to receive your item. The tech support pop-ups, call now. Please never call a number just because it pops up on your screen ever. This is one of the big ones that people call all the time and they pay all the time. And package delivery text. I also just, right before this went on, I got a message from Facebook that I needed to click this link, and here's a code. Obviously a scam, we delete those immediately. Red flags, urgency is the biggest one. The faster they get you to pay them, the easier it's going to be for them. So the longer you have to think about what's going on, the more you're probably going to realize it is a scam. So urgency is the top. Threats, accounts closed, you're going to be arrested, things like this. The IRS will never ever call you. The government will never call you. They will always send certified mail. They won't email you either. Secrecy, don't tell anyone, because if you told your friend, your colleague, your husband, your wife, hey, I'm on the phone with Microsoft and they need me to go down and buy some gift cards, that person probably is going to tell you that that's a scam. So they want you to keep it quiet and don't tell anyone. Asking for codes that you get text. Yes, question.
What about all these political stuff that comes through?
They're going to use every avenue necessary to try and get you to click or call or do something. So, you name it, it's political, holidays. Scammers are going to use that as an avenue to try and get you to give them what they want. So asking for codes. When you receive a code, a verification code, whether it's text message, email, phone call, that code is for you only. It's not to give to anyone else. And if anyone is asking for that code, unless you know them specifically and trust them, do not give those codes away. That could be the only thing preventing a threat actor from gaining access to your account. Odd payment requests, so gift cards, crypto, wire transfers, things like that. We're going to talk about gift cards in a little bit. Oh, that's coming up next. Gift cards. So this next slide, I took a long time to really lay this out. There's scams every time. If you hear the word gift card, hang up. It's an immediate scam. And we've had this happen here at Fox Run. Bill, the members of the admin staff will never ask you to go buy a gift card for any reason whatsoever, unless it's in person, and then I probably still would, so you can go buy his own. Phone call scams. I don't know about you, but I've had calls come from myself where I see my name and phone number show up. I generally answer because I want to know, maybe it's me from the future. Maybe lottery numbers, who knows? But phone numbers, caller ID can be faked or spoofed. So you can't trust just because it says Capital One, just because it says Bank of America. It might not be. Again, we talked about never sharing those multi-vector or 2FA codes, but never share your passwords unless you know and trust this person specifically. And if you get scared, just hang up. And call the real number, the number on the back of your credit card, the number that you see on the website that you know and trust. Scammers will never give you a number to call back. So this is one of the great things that you can do. If you're not sure, if you're on the phone with someone and you're not sure if they're a scammer, ask for their phone number so you can call them back when you're not busy. They will do everything to not let you hang up, because they can't give you a number to call back, because they're going to give you a number that is not related to that service in any way. And you can quick do a Google search on that phone number and realize it is a scam. So that's a dead giveaway. Email scams. Email scams can look real because they'll take, let's say Amazon, for example. These scammers will take actual emails that Amazon sends out identically, but will change the link to take you to a site that looks like Amazon. So they look very real, the logos are there, the terms of service are at the bottom, that they're very realistic. If you're not sure, just don't click on the links that are provided to you in the email. Close that email, go to the website, sign in, use known good methods to log into websites to contact your bank, things like that. Text message scams, we get these all the time. I just got one we talked about, delivery package problems. There's a problem with your bank account, your package is delayed. It goes on and on and on. If you do think there's an issue, again, delete the text message. Most phones now you can say this is spam and it'll block that number from ever contacting you again. Doesn't work great because there's a lot of numbers out there that scammers can use, so all you did is block that single number. You'll never receive a text again from that number. So passwords, these are horrible. No one likes them. They seem to be getting longer and longer every year. I think Microsoft now says up to 14 characters creates a secure password. Passphrases can help with that. So take a few words, shove them together, add a number on it. That's a great password. Avoid reusing passwords. I'm guilty of this. I use the same password for a lot of things that don't matter to me. Maybe my Netflix account, things like that. My email password is very long and it's very unique because if I can get into someone's email account, I can start resetting all their other accounts that use that email. Password managers are great too. I use 1Password for my company. It's a paid-for service. It's very secure. On my personal side of things, I use Google because I have an Android. If you use an Apple product, the Apple Password Manager, they're all pretty good as long as the password you've used for your Gmail or iPhone account is a good password. Something new now is passwordless sign-ins. These are one-time codes that get sent to your email. I actually had, I don't want to say my family had our Netflix account compromised about 6 months ago, and so we had to close that and spin up a new Netflix account. They had an option to do passwordless sign-in. There's actually no password for my Netflix account. It just sends a code to our email address, and we take that code and plug it into the TV or phone or whatever. There's a lot of other new websites that are using this, and it basically makes it impossible for threat actors to sign into your accounts without that code and without access to your email. Again, never share this code. They are personal, they are for you, and they're not for anyone else to know. Protecting your email account first. We talked if I can get into your email account, I can start resetting all your other passwords. So that's the one account that needs to have the best password, needs to have multi-factor or two-factor authentication turned on. I think this is pretty much default on all major email platforms, so Google, Microsoft, Apple, everything now should have multi-factor. If you have an account that doesn't have any sort of code, text code or email code or any second authentication method, probably should contact them and see if there's a way you can turn it on. Yes?
What about leaving your login left on?
If that's your personal computer, then definitely. If it's a public machine, absolutely not. You always want to sign out. Even the kiosks we have here, make sure you log out of the account before you walk away from the computer. That was a good question. So two-factor or multi-factor, it could be a text message, it could be a phone call. Those two are good, they're better than nothing, but they can be intercepted by a threat actor. The best authentication, or multi-factor authentication types are app-based, so a program on your phone or an app on your phone that's showing you a code every so often. Those are very hard to be compromised. But again, the only option is a text code, it's better than nothing at all. Fake tech support pop-ups. These are mostly prevalent on computers. If you're using a PC, a Mac, and using a browser to surf the web, that's where we see these the most. They're not as prevalent on mobile devices, but we still see them. So if you see these, don't call any number that pops up. Microsoft does not care if your computer is infected. They will never care, and they will never pop up a message saying that you should call them because of that. If you do get these, sometimes they're very aggressive and hard to close. If you know some tricks like opening the task manager, if you're on your computer, you can end the program. If you're not sure, you can always just hold the power button down on your computer and it will shut off. You will lose anything that was up on the screen at that time. And the same with the phone. You can force these to power off if there's something that's popped up that you can't close. And we always have Killian here to help us if we do want to do an issue. He can come force your computer to shut down. Yes?
Talk about Face ID. My bank wants me to use it to go into my account, and I feel like it keeps me from having to enter a password. Is that true?
So that Face ID is two-factor authentication. Face, fingerprint, all it's doing is taking areas of your face, your fingerprint, and using that to create a mathematical key that then gets you into the account. So that's all it is. So it's biometrics, they call it.
So use it when it's offered?
Absolutely. Because the only way someone's gonna, get in is if they hold you down, hold the phone over your face, or grab your hand.
It's only in the movies.
Yeah, well, who knows? I'm sure when I'm sleeping, my wife grabs my hand and unlocks my phone. I don't have anything to hide on there. No, that's a great question. Face ID, fingerprint, any sort of biometric is a second factor authentication because there is a password to that account, and then those biometrics are the second factor. Online shopping and travel safety. So even well-known sites will have advertising that's on the side. They don't verify who they're selling that advertising space to all the time. So you can be on a very well-known site and you can get pop-ups. You can get aggressive pop-ups that are telling you to call a number. So, okay, you're on Forbes website and all of a sudden you get a thing that pops up and it's from Microsoft saying your computer's infected. Well, you're trusting that Forbes knows what they're doing, so this must be a legit pop-up. That is not the case, and it will never be. Is there a question? Deals that are too good to be true, hopefully everyone here has learned that throughout their life. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. And use your credit card. Bank accounts, debit cards, that is your money. If you use a credit card shop online, it's not your money. And if your credit card gets stolen and purchases get made, you do not owe the credit card company that. You will get refunded every time. So I encourage you, credit cards for online shopping, the way to go. And you get those points, So what to do if something feels off? Just pause, just stop and think. If you're getting rushed, it's probably a scam. Talk to someone you trust, ask questions, and again, if it's involving your bank or your credit card, call the number on the back of your card. Call a number on your statement. Use known good information. If you think you were scammed, call your bank, call your credit card company right away. Let them know. Again, if it's a credit card company, you're not on the hook for any of that. Change your passwords depending on the level of the scam. If they got into your email account, it's even though you've taken care of the scam that you see happening right away, there could be more happening in the future if your email is compromised. Watch your accounts and consider freezing your credit. I tell everyone I'm not an accountant, I'm not a lawyer, but my credit is frozen because I'm not going out. I'm not trying to get new loans. So keeping that credit frozen keeps those accounts secure. Contact someone trustworthy, and if it's really bad, you can call law enforcement. They will help, and they will have people you can contact depending on how big this scam was. So quick safety checklist. Don't click. Don't trust urgency. Never go buy a gift card, please. Most Walgreens, stores are actually asking what this is for when you go to buy a gift card. I get gift cards for my employees for Christmas. I always like to poke at the cashiers and tell them, it's to pay my gas bill that I haven't paid in a long time. Just see how they react. Most of them will still let you buy the card, by the way. Strong passwords, multi-factor, and keep your devices up to date. It's very annoying. They want you to reboot them to do those updates. Those aren't features. Those are security patches almost always. And final reminder, it's okay to hang up. It's okay to say no whenever you want. Any questions? Yes?
If you get a phone call from a known or suspected scammer, answer it either Hebrew or Spanish. They go away.
That's a good idea. Yeah, you can feel free if you know it's a scam to have fun with them. It's very entertaining. You can keep them on the line for an hour or two, tell them you're driving to go get their gift cards. Oh, your car broke down. You gotta call AAA. The possibilities are endless. It's great fun. Yeah. So that was more of a statement. If you get a scam call and you know it's a scammer, just start talking in a foreign language. No, unless they know the language and then they got you. So, any other questions? Yes. Yeah, so that was more of a statement, and Lynn said when she has her credit card set up, so when she makes a purchase, it sends her a text message. I have that same thing. I love it. She said it is annoying because every purchase you make, you're getting a text, but that is a fantastic way to know if someone has your credit card information, that they're making purchases with that card. So that's a great option to sign up for. Good question?
What does it mean when you're talking to a friend on your cell phone and a voice comes on and says, this phone call is being recorded?
So the question was, what happens when you're talking to a friend and all of a sudden the voice comes on and says this call is being recorded? So I would hang up immediately and call that friend back. And if it's someone you trust very much, more than likely they've started recording that call. And that can be done on either end of the phone call. In New York State now, that's completely 100% legal. New York State is a one-party state when it comes to audio recording. So as long as one person of the group knows that the call is being recorded, that's perfectly legal.
Who's recording it?
It would be the person on the other end of that call.
My best friend is recording me?
If you hear something say that on the call, someone is starting a recording of some sort. Yeah, she probably hit the wrong button. Accidentally.
Tell me,
Oh,
what
I
did you,
thought it
if
was
you
the
hear,
FBI, damn it.
It could have been.
what did you say about if you hear?
Can you repeat that?
Didn't quite understand what you meant when you said, if you hear something.
Yeah, so what she said is she was talking to a friend and she heard someone say, this call is being recorded.
Right.
And it wasn't her friend that said that. So whenever a call is being recorded on a phone, it notifies the other party that that call is now being recorded.
Okay.
She probably just hit a button on her phone. Or she's a secret agent. One of the two.
That's exciting.
Yes?
I've been called by Medicare asking if I've gotten a new card. And I know it's a scam, but should I report that or?
So the question was, I got a call from Medicaid asking if I got my new card, and that's a very common scam, and you know it's a scam, so that's good. You can report it, but the problem is there's so many phone numbers that are, that are available to choose from, so it's very hard to track down those individuals who did that. So I would encourage you to hang up immediately. You could call, but there's really not much that can be done, unfortunately. Yes? Oh, the grandparent scam. Yeah, thank you. So that's called the grandparent scam. And the way it works is you get a phone call and you say hello, and they say, hey, grandma. And you say, oh, hey, Jimmy. And they say, yeah, this is Jimmy. So if you get, hey, grandma, hey, grandpa, you say, who is this? And if they don't say their name, ask them their name. They could be in jail. The stories go crazy with these. I'm overseas and I'm in jail and I need bail money. I mean, it's crazy what they'll come up with, but most of these sound somewhat believable. If you haven't seen your grandkid in a while, you don't know. So yeah, thank you for that story. Yes? Amen. I wish I could do that. Yeah, so that was screening calls. If you don't know who the number is, don't answer. I would love to be able to do that, but I probably have some new clients calling, so do have to answer. But once I'm done with business, I'm not going to answer anything unless I know who that caller is. Yes?
In response to that question, if you say hello and there's nobody there, what do they gain from that?
Nothing.
Thank you.
Yeah. One of the other things too we're seeing in the industry is the use of AI or artificial intelligence. It's getting big, so they're actually using AI to place these phone calls and talk to you. There's a lot of big companies using AI to do phone support, but now scammers are using these to try and trick you into doing stuff. And they're pretty good and convincing. You can almost always tell because they're a little slow. There's a big delay from the time you say something to the time the AI is proceeding with the call. So again, just hang up. Like this lady said, if they really want something, they're going to get a hold of you. If you hang up and you don't get a call back, it's a scam. Yes?
On my phone, when I get incoming calls, sometimes it's a spam risk. And sometimes some of the people here, when they call me, I let it go to voicemail because it doesn't give the name that's under.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I figure that somebody that I know, they'll leave a message and I'll pick up the phone. Or not.
Yeah, so what that was a question about the phone saying scam risk or spam risk. I have T-Mobile and it'll say likely spam. It actually gives me kind of a level when that call comes in that isn't a contact in my phone. And what that is the telephone carriers are starting to keep lists of the level of uncertainty of if that call is a spam call or not. Sometimes people will show up on that list because they got a new phone number, and unfortunately all these numbers are recycled through the phone system. They may get a number that is on that list, and they have to call and try to get off of that list. It's a pain in the butt, but for the most part, those are spam calls or scams, so definitely avoid those. Yes? I'll repeat it. That was a good story. I don't think I can repeat that verbatim, but let me give you the overall. And this is a great example of how these scams work their way through the internet. So she got an email requesting an Amazon card be purchased, and she found out eventually that it was her friend who got scammed. They got onto her computer and found all her friend's email addresses, and her contact was one of those addresses. So now that scam gets sent to her, and this is how this stuff propagates through the internet. So it's very important that we all raise our collective awareness because it really helps these scams from propagating around. And these are all great questions. So The more we raise our collective awareness, the better. Yes. Yeah, the government will never call you. And you can always say, you know what, send me certified mail. It has to be a game, because these scammers are not smart. They're persistent, that's what they are. This is their full-time job to try and steal money from you. So you have to push back, send me certified mail, let me call you back when I'm not busy. Do anything to slow the scam down, and they'll reveal who they are immediately, so. Yes?
I just wanted to say, if you don't, have one of these places to keep, one of the sites that keeps all your passwords, please keep them in a notebook in a safe place, because I've had a few people I've talked to that have a stack of little pieces of paper. And then when they need that password, they don't know which little piece of paper it is.
Yeah, password books are great, as long as you keep them in a safe spot. And you have legible writing, unlike myself. All right, everyone, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Very much,